Last episode, we tore down our woodland mansion and replaced it with the beginnings of a brand new mansion. And let's just say, in between episodes, I have been very busy laying down blocks, designing towers, and bringing completion to this mansion. Hello friends, and welcome on back to another video here from our Let's Play world. I have, oh my goodness, so much to catch you up on here in our world with our mansion transformation project. But you know what? Maybe let's let time-lapse Callie bring you up to speed on all the progress that we have made. Over the course of the last 10 days, I've been hard at work finishing off the exterior of our woodland mansion. Most of this was accomplished on livestream, so if you'd really like to check those out, be sure and follow me over on Twitch. The link is down below in the description of this video. After I mapped out the shape of the building, we got to work building up the walls one at a time. I was wondering how we could break up the build a little, and stream suggested I add in a tower in the back. It made such a remarkable difference in the monotony of the wall template, but also provided a good height difference to the build. Now I will say, while the walls and tower were pretty simple to figure out how to build, placing in the roof brought a lot more challenges. I don't like making roofs, despite the fact that the vast majority of my builds have roofs, and a roof of this size was no easy task. But putting in a flat roof on both sides and adding in two smaller towers to hide a difficult roof join brought this build all together. And now we have the finished woodland mansion transformation. From a beautiful red roof incorporating all our amazing red mushroom blocks of the dark oak forest, to the light colored birch and smooth sandstone walls, and even down to the stone brick foundation. And of course, while the build is complete, there is a whole lot more detailing needed, as well as a full interior. Now that the walls and the roof are all put up here on our mansion, it's time to do a little bit of detailing. And I got started a little bit here with some bush action just to kind of see what it would look like. But I really would like to have almost ivy crawling up the sides of the walls here. And I think a good way to do that would be to add a little bit of vine action, as well as some leaves and maybe even some glow lichen. I don't know. I think it would be really cool to have some greenery trailing up the walls and even onto the roof here on our build. However, in my inventory, as you can tell, I have 11. Just 11 vines, and we are going to need so many more than that. So while I could set up a vine farm, just a manual vine farm around here, I think what we're gonna do, we live on top of a giant lush cave. So we're gonna just fly down into our mining area towards the lush cave, and I'm sure we'll get more than enough vines for a project here. Well, we have a bunch of stacks of vines now, and I picked up some mangrove leaves because I love the look of mangrove leaves, so I think we're going to use that. And now it's the matter of just kind of taking a section here and seeing what we can do here together. So one of the things I definitely don't want is for the vines to grow way too long. So I am thinking that if we place them down in different ways, that we make sure that we put something underneath of the vines so they don't grow too far. Hopefully this will work. I mean, I do like the look of the vines over top of the leaves like that, but again, this means that they're gonna just continue growing, and I don't want that. So we either have to use some string or maybe some buttons on the walls to fix that. I think we just kind of lace this around a little bit and hope for the best. Let's take a little bit of a step back and see what this looks like. I think that could possibly work. I like the vines, and I like having the extra leafage in there to really make it feel like thicker ivy. Okay, let's continue on the front here of this tower and see what we can do. Ooh, okay, think I'm kind of liking this. Let's just take a step back here. Go land on top of a tree. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I think that's going to be really good. I need to kind of tie over the ivy this direction, but I love that. Having that little extra detail with the ivy rolling up this build, so cool. And I think especially once we tear out all the trees, put in the front garden, and that sort of thing, I think this is gonna look incredible. Oh my goodness. I love this so much. So obviously I have a lot of work to do placing in all these leaves and all the rest of that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna get on that. I'll bring you guys back when it is done. We've already had a super long time lapse, so I'm not going to time lapse this. I will just bring you back when it is complete. I am definitely not done with all of this yet, but I did want to show you one thing. The texture. Okay, so we were just using mangrove leaves and vines. Then Mr. Frogger gave me the suggestion of putting in some mangrove roots as well as some azalea bushes, because then that kind of brings in a little bit more color, maybe a look of like some vines are dying. And I like it a lot. I like the added texture. I like the added color. It just feels like this build is overgrown with ivy, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Anyways, back to placing all of these bushes, which probably means I need a whole lot more azalea bushes. You know what? Maybe let's chop down some trees first. My friends, we have a problem. So I have placed leaves all the way around our mansion, which I think look absolutely amazing for our ivy. And I really love the front here as well with all the vines that are growing down. And I think the vines really add to the ivy look. However, controlling the vines is next to impossible. What do I do? I have used buttons on a lot of it, and I thought I had controlled all the vine action here. But vines don't just grow downwards. They also grow sideways and upwards and under things and over things, and it's so weird. But we gotta figure out the problem of the vines. We gotta be able to control them because I don't want the vines all hanging down like has happened right now. I mean, I've been placing leaves for a couple of hours here. So a couple of hours and this is what the front of it looks like. I don't think that's gonna work. And we tried to add in like buttons in places to prevent it from growing really crazily. But of course, as you can tell, apparently I didn't do it well enough because this is definitely not working. But if we move around here to the back portion, actually the side in the back, I did the ones back here with just leaves. So if we take a step back, this is what it looks like with just leaves. And while I definitely like that, and I think the detail still comes out and kind of the vine action is really nice, or the ivy action, making it look like ivy does turn out, at the same time, it's not quite the same if you don't have vines. So let me know down in those comments what you think I should do with the vines, if I should keep them, if I should tear them out, if I should add vines through the rest of the build. Like I said, I really do like the look of the vines. I just don't like the look of the vines when they go insane and everywhere. But now that we have finished off the ivy look, it's time to take on the next project. And there's two things that I want to do. So number one, I want to make these flat roofs up here look a little bit better. So maybe adding in some small bushes or some benches or Something like that to make it look like a rooftop garden, I think could be really cool and really bring everything together. But the other thing that I want to accomplish here is I want to tear down trees and I want to make sure that we have a beautiful yard, because right now I definitely feel like the scale of this build with all of these vanilla trees hanging out around is just like, it throws everything off. Like, you have these trees that barely go up to the top of our stone brick base, which doesn't really work very well. So I definitely want to tear out all these trees. I think we'll probably tear out all the trees and probably right to the water's edge. So this is like a massive, massive tree destruction. I guess it is time to start tearing down some trees. I'm going to go and do a lot of this on stream today. But yeah, definitely don't forget, use the link down in the description to come follow me over on Twitch if you want to come see some of this live as we're building and creating some of these bigger builds. You know, even though that was like 4 hours, over 4 hours worth of work tearing down all of those trees, man, there is so much more that I want to tear out. We barely made a dent in the tree removal. We'll keep removing trees as we go, but that's good enough for right now. However, while I was tearing out all of those trees, I came across something a little bit interesting. Check out this clip. I have seen something down here that I want to go check out, and I thought I'd bring you along. It looks like a really massive cave, and I'm curious. So I got a lot of stuff in my inventory, but you know what? We're gonna hope that that's okay, and I guess we need to come down here anyways and pick up some of this stuff. Dude, do we finally have our dream cave project? Oh my goodness, that looks amazing down there. This is definitely like dream. Almost dream anyways. Cave project? I've been very interested in making like a base or a building or a city or something like that in some of these massive caves that are now available. And oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. That's fine, everything's fine. Oh, this is so cool, and look at that, it goes all the way over here. Dudes, we might have found a new project once we finish this one off. This is gorgeous, and it's a lush cave too. Wow, I love it. Okay, we lit it up a little bit, let's get out of here. Oh, not in here. Not in here, guys. Oh no, I'm gonna pop my totem. Oh, I'm so glad I had a totem on me. Well, we're just gonna waste some of our wood. And we're just going to make a path instead of trying to fly up there. We're just gonna tower up. Seems like a safer bet. I've seen an absolutely epic cave. So the next task on my agenda is, guys, I gotta take those vines off. They are driving me insane. Please still let me know down in the comments if you do like them and any hints or the like of how I can actually stop them from overgrowing like this. But for now, I think for my sanity, we're just going to take all the vines off here on the front so they don't get overgrown, and then we are going to work on a little bit of an entranceway to this area. I mean, to be fair, that's exactly why I tore down all the trees. That is definitely a whole lot better. I know the vines were beautiful, and I really did love the vines, but taking over everything I did not enjoy, so much better now. And from the distance, mostly that we'll be seeing this, that still looks like ivy, so I'm happy with it. However, it is now time to start talking about the entrance to this area, and I am thinking of going very grand. This is, after all, a mansion, and so I think going quite grand with a nice circular driveway here and a beautiful fountain in the center with maybe some evergreen trees on the side could look very beautiful. Now that we have a bunch of the resources, I think this would look like a very good build palette for our road. I like it, but is it too similar to the base? Give me a second, I have ideas. After trying a couple of different patterns and block palettes here, friends, I think I want to go dark. I kind of like how that polished basalt over there and cobbled deep slate as well as some polished deep slate is just looking. I think it definitely brings some more elegance to this build. However, I have noticed one thing. I need to adjust my circle. It is not a good circle and I don't like it. So I'm going to do that. So let's just jump into a short little time lapse. Well, my friends, since that last clip, we have done a lot. I got a little bit carried away with decorating and trying a couple of tree designs. But can I just say, I love how this is looking right now. We got ourselves a little bit of a fence and also some leaves for kind of a hedge around our driveway here. And of course, we had to put in some pink peonies here. Then here in the middle, we got ourselves our beautiful fountain. And to show off all our riches, we also added in our 4 beacons that we have. And I ended up using some fire coral as well as a little bit of yellow coral fans just to get a lot of color into this fountain area. And I love how this has turned out. It's so beautiful, bright, and colorful. Now, as we can tell, clearly I did not take down all the vines like I thought I did, but you know what? I don't know. We'll have to deal with it at a later date. For now, it's just gonna stay as is. But we tried out a couple of tree designs, and I need your guys' help. So down in the comments, let me know if you like either of these tree designs or if you hate them both and want me to do something completely different. I want to add in some custom trees around here, and I think it would work really well to add in custom trees along our road this way. As you can tell, we didn't really finish the road besides laying it down. However, there is just a lot of terraforming that I need to do, and I'm right out of time for this episode. But this front part of our mansion is looking gorgeous. I love it so much. A little note here on these trees. So the one here on the left is oak wood, and then I ended up putting in a little bit of moss block and then the azalea bushes, both flowered and non-flowered. And I think it works out all right, but I also feel like it might fade in too much to our build in the back. Then here on the other side, we have a birch tree. Now, I did this one specifically to try and get a lot of contrast to the build behind it, so it would actually stand out a little bit. But we have some birch leaves as well as some spruce leaves, and that darker color of leaf does make that one stand out a little bit more against the build. So certainly let me know down in those comments what you think about them. Or if you dislike them both and want me to do something completely different, that's completely fine too. But as I said, we are right out of time for this episode. We have done so much work, from building up the entire mansion to tearing down a bunch of trees and of course, decorating up our front yard. So if you have enjoyed this episode, I would absolutely love if you hit that like button. That would be incredible. And if you really enjoyed what I do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There is a large percentage of you who watch my videos but aren't subscribed, and if you did subscribe, it would help me out a lot, and it's free to do. So thank you so much for your continued support. We are gaining up there on 700 subscribers here on my YouTube channel. So until my next video, I hope you guys all have a wonderful week, and I shall see you another time. Bye for now.